All right, so Africa is Waiting has different branches. And right now we're just rolling out the television aspect of Africa is Waiting.
We have somebody absolutely phenomenal that deserves to be celebrated. And we're talking about none other than Pombili Shilongo, who is a well-known media personality and one of Namibia's most recognizable TV presenters. She is a mother and a professional MC with 10 years of experience in the media industry, holding a diploma in communications and script writing. She has used her brand and platform to promote well-known brands, and she is a vehicle for social activists in partnership with the Namibian Planned Parenthood Association and the United Nations Population Development Fund, short for UNFPA, has ran a project called Ensuring Life-Saving GBV Assistance to Women, Girls and persons with disabilities. And she joins us in studio this morning to talk about her life project and the future. Welcome, Pombili.
Good morning, Adora. How are you?
Very well, thanks. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
How
Excited.
is life being a new mom? Juggling between that and being a brand ambassadors for all these brands, and then you still need to run the business.
I need to attend a seminar how mothers do it after 5. Like from 8 to 5, I'm still there.
Yeah.
But like when I have to clock in, that I actually have to pick up a little cute human being. And then take care of them and entertain them when you're tired, when you're done. But it's amazing. It's a wonderful feeling. It's actually an honor, to be very honest. And I really just try my best to learn as much as I can and do the best that I can at the same time.
And I mean, this doesn't come with a guidebook, so you just wing it as much as you can.
Yeah, welcome to the real world.
Let's get into it. Now, tell us a little bit about your childhood and how that impacted who you are today.
Well, I was raised by a family of my mom, my dad. They weren't married, but I was raised by both of them in the separate entities. I lived with my brother and my sister, and it was really just quite interesting. If anything, my brother taught me how to cook, which was the opposite. Yeah, so my sister was really the more strict, numbered type of lady. But it's really your typical household setup in Shandubala.
What would you say is something that keeps you grounded and motivated in life? Because, I mean, with such a busy life, you have to constantly keep check, that mental check all the time. What is that thing that keeps you collected?
Humility, to be very honest. Humility and the mere fact that everything that goes up does come down. So be very careful how you climb that ladder. Because when it turns around, your humility, your kindness should be at least the kind of grace that holds you down until you get back up again. And I think that's really, over the 10 years I've been in the industry where I've seen highs and lows of people. And I've just taken from that and learned from the experience. But I honestly think that there's absolutely nothing in this world that takes away kindness.
Humility, kindness, and that is what keeps grounded. Now, Africa is Waiting. Is your new baby and is an exciting upcoming project. Okay, now what can you tell us about that, and what can we expect?
All right, so Africa is Waiting has different branches, and right now we're just rolling out the television aspect of Africa is Waiting. Inception is a kid's clothing line, and really what we want to inspire and ignite in every young child is that they want to be a part of this Africa that is waiting. I always say that as adults our time is up. There's not really much that we can do for Africa, but there's a lot that the next generation can do, and so they must really feel inspired and ignited to want to be a part of this, and not let Africa become a place where you take resources out and go and plow outside. So the best way to ignite it within a child is to first start having parental conversations, because the buying power is the parent. And so if the parent doesn't understand the concept of Africa is Waiting, how do you expect their children to sit at a table of conversations of that sort? So our first branch will be the television show, which was really, we're really privileged and excited at the same time that we have had the guests that we had on the show. Quite an interesting dynamic. Like they say, there's no manual to parenting. So everybody does it quite differently. It might not really resonate with you, but it works, you know. And so I think it's really one of the shows that you can learn how they do their parenting style, what are their challenges, how they overcome their challenges. And then these are really just prominent figures that you don't anticipate to hear them talk about children, or let alone have a child. For example, you have someone like Michael Amshelelo, where we're so used to him being an activist for others, that most people don't know that he's actually a father. You know, he's responsible for picking up and dropping off his child and spending quality time with that. That I guess because he doesn't showcase that element, we sort of like we don't look at him as that type of a person. So that's one of the elements that we have within the show.
We're definitely excited to see, because I mean, I had a peek at some of the guests on the show. I'm just like, what? Hey, what? But in any case, you can definitely catch that very soon, coming to your television screens. That is on One Africa TV. Let's quickly go back to you as a parent. I mean, we mentioned that, yes, you're new to this and you're just winging it every day. Is there ever a time where you look at your little one and you're like, am I doing a good job?
You know, what I do, Adora, the most is read. I love reading, and I love learning from other people's experiences. And I think there's something that they call the mummy trap, or the mummy guilt. And that question never dies out. Even with the guests that I've had, it's like, are you doing enough, and is your enough the right type of, you know, version? So it's a question that doesn't disappear. However, it's a relevant question to constantly keep you going, to say, listen, right now this toddler can't really give me a full sentence, right? But at the time that they're able to, I hope that I'm able to navigate right and wrong away from them. But I just think the biggest challenge as a parent is being able to raise an individual to become what they need to become, and not what you aspire them to become. I think we can inspire our children to the very best of their ability, but who they choose to become, we have absolutely no choice in that.
Well, you heard it from a mommy herself. It is never enough, but maybe it's also not the enough version for the child. But you will know as time goes. And of course, you'll just wing it, because that is mother instinct. Finally, what is your message to our listeners?
Well, tune into the show. That's the start. Catch the show on One Africa TV, and of course on their website platforms. Really grasp it. I think the main aim when we thought about the TV show is that there's not really a place on social media that you could go to and say, oh, how do I deal with XYZ, unless it's just like, you know, conferences that are happening, and not everybody had the privilege to that. So really tap into the wealth of knowledge that these people have, resonate with a couple of the challenges that they have, and then, you know, plug us on our social media platforms. We do have an Instagram page, Africa is Waiting. Let us know what you think of the show. We also are in the space of looking for children to be a part of the show as in brand ambassadors. So most of the activities happen on the Instagram page, and I think people can just tap in.
Africa is Waiting is the new show you can look forward to, but it's not just a show, but a platform where parents can really just go in there and be like, how do I do this? How do I deal with this? Pombili Shilongo, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Adora.
Making time and talking to us about this, and we really look forward to it.
Thank you so much.
Show continues right here on 99 FM.